Mexico long enough. You know when fires start to pop up this early in the season in February. It is bound to be a long fire season.
As we reported, flames started tearing through the Bosque on the Isleta Puebla over the weekend. Then crews had to tackle a grass fire near Belen yesterday afternoon. An update to both of those fires coming up in just a bit. But first, Lieutenant Michael Everett with the Bernalillo County Fire Department says he's concerned we are in for an early and very long fire season.
It's very worrisome right now to have such high fire danger this early in the season. What we can do is pray for a lot of rain, is what we're hoping for.
Now, the lieutenant does tell us that his crew in the East Mountains did their wildfire training early this year.
As we mentioned, the lack of rain and snow is sparking a very early start to this fire season. That grass fire burning here in the Bosque on the Isleta Pueblo has now grown to more than 100 acres. The fire started Sunday afternoon on farmland and is 25% contained. Sky News 13 captured the flames moving quickly into the Bosque just after it started. The dry brush and trees on both sides of the Rio Grande caught fire within minutes, and investigators are still trying to figure out what even started this fire.
At this point, we can't determine whether it was agriculture or if it was set by someone. We don't know at this point.
Firefighters, thank goodness, had calmer conditions on their side yesterday, but when the fire kicked up on Sunday, the wind was gusting as much as 30 miles an hour. No homes or buildings have been burned, and a voluntary evacuation order in the area has been lifted. Well, another grass fire popped up along Highway 314 just north of Belen. Sky News flew over this one. It was first reported in a field about 1:45 yesterday afternoon. One shed has burned and 4 structures are threatened, but crews are making some good progress there. Investigators say the fire may have started as a debris burn, but that is still under investigation.
The state Senate will be back at it again today after lawmakers make no progress on a proposed $6.2 billion budget compromise last night. The bill they are looking at includes $108 million for state-managed education reforms, including $7 million that could be used for merit pay. $132 million would increase in money for school districts to manage themselves. The budget was struck down in the House after the tie vote came in on education funding. But with time running out, a Senate panel moved the bill into the full Senate for a vote. Now they decided to put that off until today. They're expected to be back on the floor at 11 this morning.
Well, Democrats buried one of their party's top priorities this session, a constitutional amendment to dig deeper into the state's permanent fund to pay for early childhood programs. The amendment proposes to take about $160 million more a year from the $13 billion state permanent fund and spend it on early childhood programs. Democratic Party Chairman Sad Brangman on the right here said recently that Senate Finance Committee Chair John Arthur Smith here has blocked the measure in the past, and if he does it again, he should go ahead and switch parties and become a Republican. At last night's hearing on the bill, Senator Smith and others had their say.
That fund is spending off now money, not just FAR money. We want to make certain that it's going to be an intergenerational fund and continue to spin off now money and future money.
It has nothing to do with whether or not we're in favor of early childhood education. What we're in favor of is a proper funding source that doesn't put the state into jeopardy.
When it came to the vote, 4 Democrats, including Smith, and 4 Republicans voted to table the proposal. Only 2 Democrats voted to move it ahead. A fiscal study warns that the proposal would hurt the permanent fund in the long term, which has made some senators leery of the plan.
Also having to do with education, House Democrats did pass a compromise social promotion bill. The governor, not a big fan of it. Governor Susana Martinez has been pushing for a law to hold back 3rd graders who don't read well enough. But the compromise bill that lawmakers are considering would give parents the choice of deciding whether their kids should be held back, not schools. The governor says this bill would weaken the power of schools to hold back students at any grade level. The compromise bill now goes to the Senate. Hannah Scandera won't be confirmed as Education Secretary in New Mexico for a 3rd year in a row. A Senate committee deadlocked on sending Scandera's confirmation to a full Senate vote. Now, it doesn't affect her job status. It just means that she will stay on as the Education Secretary designate.
More military families used food stamps to buy their groceries last year. That's according to a recent Military Officers Association survey. It found nearly $104 million worth of food stamps were used at military commissaries. The survey found the number of military families getting this assistance has grown steadily since the beginning of the recession. One reason for this is a 30% unemployment rate among active duty military spouses. The association says spouses who relocate every few years have a harder time finding work in the private sector. And hunger continues to be a problem right here in New Mexico, but there is a way to help those in need if you're going out to eat this week.
Yes, Chili's restaurants all over New Mexico are teaming up with regional food banks. You see, Chili's is basically donating 15% of their sales to these organizations. News 13's Samantha McDonald is live with the details. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Well, here in Albuquerque, the Roadrunner Food Bank will benefit from this program. That's where I am right now. For every dollar raised, they will be able to distribute 5 extra meals. This is a new program. It's going on this week through February 20th. It's an idea inspired by the continuing problem of hunger in our state. Food bank officials say they are seeing very long lines, especially since the last round of food stamp cuts in November. And they anticipate even more need now that lawmakers have decided to cut food stamps nationally by $800 million a year. Those cuts affect 1 in 5 New Mexicans who rely on the extra help.
We meet clients all the time who it's the first time they've been to a distribution of ours because maybe of an unemployment or they lost benefits at work or their hours were cut.
The food bank staff say one of the biggest ways you can help the hungry is to volunteer to help with distributions.
Between all of us collaborating, we can do something good for the community.
If you'd like to participate in this program, all you have to do is bring in this flyer and mention the program to your server, and then you can help out the hungry. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Samantha. By the way, if you would like to get involved with the food bank by volunteering, you can call the Roadrunner Food Bank at 247, where am I looking? 2052. We've also posted a link to their website on KRQE.com.